My name is Henry Willis, Luke Cage.
How'd you get the name Luke Cage?
Let's see, how did I get the name Luke Cage? I'm an avid comic book reader, and Luke Cage just happened to be the first black superhero to have his own comic book. It was kind of weird because they put him in a Captain America body with this like an original kind of face, so it was kind of like a white dude superimposed on a black dude, or a black dude superimposed on a white dude, kind of like the black experience in America.
Where are you from?
I don't know the name of the planet of my origin, but I'm from Pasadena. I'm from Pasadena, California, by way of, I don't know, some other place too, but Pasadena.
What was it like growing up in Pasadena, California?
Let's see. It was like, growing up in Pasadena was like, in hindsight and looking back, it was like living the American dream almost. You know, the block that I grew up on, it was family. Everybody was family. So we got the chance to do all the things that you see in very happy portraits of family, like in a movie or maybe some 50s sitcom, where we were able to play in the street. We knew all the neighbors. Everybody was family. It was actually really nice, even though personally I had my personal issues with growing up in Pasadena and race relations and stuff like that. But for all intent and purposes, it's fantastic.
All right. How long have you been a musician and producer?
I've been a musician for. I've been a musician for, I don't know, maybe, save for, let's see, I think until I started taking piano lessons when I was really young. So I'd say I've been a musician for the greater part of my life. How about that? Without putting any numbers on it, the greater part of my life. Producer, I don't know if I use the term producer anymore. I'm a musician who knows how to record, mix, and master. But then there are a lot of musicians that know how to do that, like Prince. And I don't know if I really call Prince a producer. I call Prince a musician. So I just kind of consider myself a musician. Producer seems to be kind of an overinflated term now, a term that people use to boost their ego versus what they really do. So I kind of stay away from the producer little term anymore.
Who are some of your musical influences?
Being a musician, I'm influenced by a multitude of different people, but I play 3 instruments. Well, I play 3 instruments enough to say I play 3 instruments. I play more than 3 instruments, but you know, as a sax player, of course, any of the greats, Sonny Stitt, Sonny Rollins, Wild Bill, of course, Train, Parker, any horn player really that was honest and that spoke to me, you know, happens to be one of my favorites. Of course, John Coltrane, for the fact that it seemed as if his spiritual journey was really laid out for everybody in notes, and it always reads the same. It always reads the same. It's always very beautiful. In terms of drummers and pianists, you know, you've got Monk. As far as drummers go, you know, it's so many different people, man. Of course, Omar Hakim was one of my favorites because he seemed to be able to do what drum and bass musicians did digitally by itself. You know, bending beats and putting 30-second notes in rhythms that were just amazing. You know, on top of regular everyday music. You know, regular like jazz music and stuff like that, or fusion. I'm really inspired by just the world of music, period. I think music in itself is kind of inspiring, although recently I haven't been quite as inspired by American music, because it just seems to be the same thing over and over again.
How long have you been involved in the creation of sound libraries?
Let's see. Writing sound libraries would be, I think it's 10 years now. Yeah, it's 10 years now, which was a fluke because I had just been coming out of a transitional period and wanted to do music for myself, and found out that getting a job was kind of a pain in the behind for a musician like me. So I was sitting around really learning the whole digital get down, and was trying to create music on my own. And I was looking for sounds, and all the sounds that I was picking up for like $100, they were just garbage, man. 100% garbage. I figured I could do better than that, and kind of tried to take that whole little world over for a minute. And I guess I kind of did. I kind of achieved that for a second. I don't really dislike any part of the recording process. I love the process. I think the recording process is a lot like life. It's about the journey. Yeah, the finished product, of course. Don't get me wrong, because you have to have a product that can be understood by, you know, as many people as it's supposed to be understood by. But I love the process itself. I mean, from the beginning to the end, from the concept to implementation to finishing, it's beautiful. It's really a treat to be able to see something start out as a rough song or something or a song that, say, a band would come in, and I say if I was recording a band, they'd come in with their song, and they have an idea of what it sounds like when they play it live, but then to hear what it sounds like after the engineer has crafted the sound and put everything in its space, and everything is cleared up a little bit and, you know, smoothed out, it's fantastic. It's amazing. It's really being able to see the secrets or the mechanics of what I fell in love with, which is music, period. Totally, man.
Who are some of the artists that you have produced?
Jametta Rose, Angela Moore, Kevin Sambon, myself, of course, which is like 6 artists in, you know, Planet 10, Marcus James. Who else have I produced? Gina Morell's stuff is pretty tight. Who sings with Daddy Uroy? Who else? There are a few other people too. You know, I have to write that stuff down to a degree because I forget. I don't really, up until I figured out that I had to promote myself, I didn't really pay attention to it. I just kind of did it because it's how I grew up doing music. We just did music, you know. It wasn't really like, now write it down, remember that, because you're going to have to big up yourself later. I don't really remember too much. I can tell you this though, I've remixed a lot of people's stuff too, as well as like the Art of Noise stuff. I remixed a lot of the Art of Noise stuff, which is a treat, for a sample disc for one company. And that was crazy. It was like working with them because I got a chance to hear all those sounds that I fell in love with when all that stuff came out, close to the edit, Moments in Love and all that.